All right, welcome again to another episode of Keeping It 84. This is Paul Penniman, an old white guy, along here with
$20.
a relatively young, relatively black human being, African American, from Southeast DC. I'm from Pleasantville, New York, and then Northwest DC, and for some reason I bought a house over in Southeast. And we're here to talk about racial and cultural differences across the divide, across that Anacostia River. What makes old white people different from young black people? Why should we be different? Why are we different? We're going to explore all these issues week to week. And today we're going to start with the topic of medical care because my voice has been struggling lately. And Mr. Dollars over here is going to explain why, or maybe ask me why I'm trusting my doctors so much, because my dentist drilled me in the wrong spot inside of my mouth. And up to now, I've been trusting doctors all the time. My mouth is getting a little bit better. But back during COVID, we white people, we took every medicine, we took every advice that the doctors gave us. But over here in Southeast, Mr. Dollars, you were saying it wasn't quite the same.
No, it wasn't.
For you all. So
were you more entrusting of doctors because y'all can afford them more than we can?
Maybe that's the case. It's like part of our package, right? When we get a job, we've got medical care taken care of, or the few of us who don't, we just automatically, okay, that's going to cost us an extra few $100s a month.
Right.
And that's it. Okay. And then after that.
You figure
okay.
Since you're paying good money to the doctors, they're going to take care of you. So that's why you're more trusting. Is that part of it?
That's a good point. It's almost like the more you pay, the more like you feel like you have to trust.
Yeah, you got to trust them because it's like they're not going to screw around with you. If you're paying them money, they're going to give you the best care so that you can continue to pay them. As whereas someone like me and people like us, we can't afford that kind of stuff. So even if we go to the doctor, they're more likely to tell us anything.
Were you following Dr. Fauci during COVID? Because my friends loved him. I mean, it was like he was a saint. I had a friend who gave him an award.
Because he was a white man with glasses on.
And he was telling us to stay at home and not go anywhere. And
I mean, that part we like, to stay home. And that part we like that part.
And get the vaccine. What about the vaccine?
I don't know about everybody. I know I didn't get it. And that's not to say that if you got it, something's wrong, and if you didn't get it, something's wrong. It was just my preference. I can tell you my preference.
What about your aunt and your grandmother? Did they get it?
I have to say, I think everybody in my family got it except for me. I think I'm the only one that didn't get it.
Were you worried about catching COVID? Or you just thought, it's just going to be another flu and I'll be okay?
I thought it was probably going to be another flu, but I really didn't care. I just didn't, I didn't want, because the COVID was out there. So I said, if I can just try to stay away from out there, I'll be fine. But I didn't want to go somewhere and get vaccinated and they put something in me that shouldn't be there.
Did you have to go to a workplace while you were trying to stay away from COVID? Or
yeah, I had to go to work. Can I say where I work at, or is that going to be another lawsuit?
No. We've only had a couple lawsuits, so go ahead.
No, but I work at UPS, so I think our job was, I forgot what essential.
Did they ask you or did they make you get the vaccine? I thought some companies made you.
Yeah, some companies did, but I think they backed up off of that because I think a lot of drivers who were black, they were opposed to the vaccine. And if UPS was to make it mandatory, I think a lot of drivers were going to quit, and that would have caused like a lot of money, or it would cause disruption in the company, I think.
Don't the UPS drivers have the open door, open window? They don't even have air conditioning in their trucks,
no,
right? So they're driving around with fresh air coming in all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So is that maybe the excuse? Oh, you don't really need the COVID vaccine if you're driving around outside. But what about handling? But what about handling packages though? You're dropping off packages.
Well, you put on the gloves and the mask and all of that. Yeah.
So the gloves never get infected.
They probably do, but it looks safe. It looks safe, but it looked like you taking precautionary action.
I mean, you're driving with the gloves, right? And you're
They probably didn't, or they sprayed everything, Lysol or whatever. They probably sprayed the packages. I don't know.
aren't they like scratching themselves with their gloves?
Maybe scratching their heads, like what's going on. But that's it. I thought it was going to be mandatory. I didn't know what was going to happen if they would have said it was mandatory. I probably would have just quit. I just didn't want to get the shot.
So you didn't think it was like a big white conspiracy that we were just doing?
Yes, I thought it was. I'm black. Of course, I thought it was a something going on.
So you thought we were basically doing experiments on black people?
Yeah. You know, it's amazing that we don't talk about these things until something like this come up. Like what was it? The Tuskegee experiment?
Yeah.
We was not thinking about that until COVID came. Then we want to bring it up. Well, you know what happened then? It's just like when a company says, well, the cell phone policy, you know, you gotta put your phone up, like at UPS. Well, I ain't gonna say now, but it was a time when you couldn't really have your cell phones with you. You had to put in a locker. You couldn't really carry into the building unless you fill out a form or something saying that you need the cell phone with you. Like for me, and they'll give you a sticker to put it on the cell phone so that you can show the people that, hey, I got documents saying that I got to keep this cell phone with me because of my elderly grandmother. I had to keep it on me, so when she called, I had to check on her every now and then. So I told them I need to have this. But if you didn't have like any important reason to have your cell phone, then you could not carry it in there. This is what most of us say, black people. Well, I need my cell phone in case of an emergency. You know, I got to call the police. And then you go in there and you're on the phone with everybody but the police. But that's the only time we use that. So the Tuskegee thing, we brought that up just so that we wouldn't do COVID.
So
but I really believed in that. I was scared about that.
Well, our councilman, I don't know if we can mention his name.
No, we ain't gonna mention his name.
He didn't want to get the vaccine. And his grandmother, who raised him, died of COVID. And there were so many bodies piled up at the morgue in Washington, D.C.
Because of COVID.
That they had to, that body of his grandmother was in the house for like a couple of days before he could get it.
This was before the vaccination, right?
Yeah. And I ran into him and I said, are you getting the vaccine? I was just like whispering to him, are you getting vaccinated? And he still was skeptical. I could tell he was still skeptical about it.
But did he get it or he didn't get it?
I don't know. He didn't really tell me, but I feel like it affected African Americans much worse.
That's what they said.
Than whites.
That's what they say.
But I don't think it's because of the vaccine thing. It was just because there's some weird connection there.
What, they wanted to make it where it just kill off a lot of black people so that we can get the vaccination so they can kill us off more or make us sterile. That's what I was worried about. So many conspiracies. I just said, first of all, I don't like shots anyway. I don't like shots. So I didn't want to get that anyway. But they were saying, well, you know, they got it where all these conspiracies, you might get sterile. And I know I wanted to have some children. So I was like, okay, I want to have some children. So I don't want them to put nothing in me. And then they were saying people was getting it. And then they were dying when they got it anyway.
How often do you see your dentist?
Not often.
Do you have a problem with dentists? It's because they have sharp objects?
Yeah.
It's not a cost thing, right? Isn't it covered by somebody?
I'm at UPS, so it's okay. It covers the basics, but yeah, I don't like sharp objects like that.
You've got some.
But I'm going to have to go because I had a tooth pain, so I'm going to have to go. But yeah, I was very skeptical of the vaccination during the coronavirus. I just did. It's like, even if they were to do something, because somebody said, you might as well get it so that you won't get the COVID. I mean, and I was like, well, I don't know what they're putting in it, you know, for black people, because now they want to say that black people are more affected by it. Is that a way to get us to go and get what they trying to put in us? They was like, well, think about it, Brian. If they really want to get us, they already gotten us because they probably put in the food. We don't know what they put in the food and the drinks. I said, well, if they're going to do that, at least I don't know about it. I'm not going to be a willing participant. If you're going to get me without knowing.
You know, there are people around the country and even politicians who believe that the measles vaccine should be optional. That if you're raising kids, they should be allowed to get measles or polio, even polio.
Oh, wow.
And these are vaccines that we've been giving out for decades. Of course, the COVID one was new.
Right. That was too new. But how long it took the polio? Which one? You said the measles and
the polio vaccine, I guess, came around the 40s, 50s.
Okay, so you have the measles vaccine, right?
Yeah.
And you have the polio. So how long it took for them to get that together?
Well, I think you do tests, and it takes a few years to perfect.
A few years, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take for the COVID-19 vaccine to come out?
Well, it took a year to develop it, but I think they keep perfecting it from year to year.
You sure about that?
No. I only took one science.
Because I know that it started in March. It came here in March, the COVID.
Yeah, March of 2020.
But when the vaccine was, they had like the first doses ready like by July, August.
Not that year. I think it was more like 9 months, 12 months. And
if it started in March, then they had it at least by the end of that year.
But still, people were not willing to go to, and they weren't letting you come to movies or plays or sports events or things like that.
Yeah, they was trying to find ways to.
Restaurants were having people outside.
I'm like, why you got to go through? Because see, when they was given, I've heard that across the country, they were giving away incentives to get you to get the vaccination. They were giving away cars and groceries. And I said, why do you have to bribe me to get something that's important for me? Because you don't do that like my grandmother with her health care and certain medicines that she need to stay alive. They don't need to bribe her for that. It's something that she really need. What they do is say, we're gonna, you got to pay for this. You basically got to give all your life savings just to get this pill to keep you alive. And then they going up on it, because of what's going on. So I'm saying, why they got to give me groceries and cars to get me to take this? They don't use it. If that's the case, then why can't our health care now be free? If that makes sense.
Right.
Imagine giving a crackhead a car. They take the shot and then you give them the car and they sell it for $34. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, they should tell people to come to the doctor and get checkups, and it never costs you anything to get the checkup.
Yeah, see, that's here in this country. I don't know about everybody, anywhere else. In this country, most likely, and it goes back to like what you were saying about being trusting of the doctors. You're white, so I know you can afford more than I can. So you trust them more because you're paying them good service better than I am. Or at all. I'm not at all. My job covers it, but you probably get better quality health care than I do, Mr. Penniman. You're going to trust them more because you're putting your money into it.
Well,
so here, anything that I know that I really need is going to cost. If I look at something, I say, and they say, well, this costs this much. And I'm looking at it like, oh my God. But that lets me know right there, that's something I really need because they're going to make money off of stuff that we need. So the fact that you're saying, oh, we're gonna basically pay you to get this shot. That's weird to me.
Getting back to my dentist. If you, a black person, were drilled accidentally under your tongue, in a mouth that was not supposed to, in part of your mouth that was not supposed to be drilled, how would you react? How would you deal with this dentist? Because white people like to sue. We're very litigious people, and we like to issue lawsuits.
That's why I'm surprised he did that.
How do you handle it on this side of the river?
We'll probably cuss him out.
That's it?
Yeah.
And never,
or destroy their room.
I can't.
I mean, we'll say, I'm going to sue you because we hear y'all say that. Just like when they pull over black people and they was like, step out the car. I know my rights. We don't know nothing for the most part. We just hear that. You don't have a right to do that, but we don't really know. We just heard y'all say that. Oh, I'm going to sue. I'm suing. You watch, I'm going to have your job. We just hear y'all say that, but we don't really know how to do. We'll get somebody.
But getting back to our dentist.
Don't know.
Getting back to our dentist. So I'm going to see him tomorrow, and he's going to finish a job that he started 3 weeks ago.
He going to fix it.
And, well, he's not going to fix the hole in my mouth, but he's going to finish the tooth that he was working on.
Okay.
Which is in good shape. The tooth that he was working on is in good shape. So no.
Okay, so he must have not did he didn't do too much of a bad job.
Right.
But you're going back to him.
Yeah, well, I have to finish the job, which is a crown on my tooth.
Okay.
And I've already paid for it, so yeah, he's going to finish the job. But I'm thinking,
You ever be afraid that, because I got a hole in my tooth too, and they was going to do something, but I was afraid because I feel like if they seal it up, whatever will get in there again will stay in there. I just want to keep the hole out so it could just
well, if they
be
seal
open.
if they seal it up, it's sealed. But then the seal could break, and you could get a cavity again.
See, that's probably what happened to me. It broke, and then whatever got in there.
Yeah.
So since my crown broke, I've been okay. But when I had it, it was hurting.
Yeah. So no violence. You don't recommend violence for me when I get there tomorrow?
No violence. No.
After he finishes the job, I could do a little, take a baseball bat to the desk.
Why the baseball bat?
Well, that's what they did in Straight Outta Compton, didn't they? They went to Jerry because Jerry was ripping them off.
I didn't see that, but tell me.
You didn't see the movie?
No,
Straight Outta Compton?
I told you, Mr. Penniman, you're more black than I am.
Jerry was the white manager, and he was managing the young guys. And it's like, where's my money, Jerry?
That sounds about
right. And they
right.
finally went to his office and knocked a few things around.
Better his desk or whatever than him, because they could hit him in the head.
Yeah, so, okay, I
figure you would say a baseball bat. Y'all love going to baseball games anyway.
So the next appointment, they're going to say, when do you want to come back? and should I be honest and say, I'm never coming back here? Or should I be like, see, we invented passive-aggressive behavior, we white people. We'll just do things behind our back, like we won't return your calls or texts,
right.
And stuff like that. So I could just make an appointment and not show up. Or I could say...
Don't make an appointment, not show up. That's kind of like what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then maybe I'll say, I'll let you know about it. I'll let you know when I'm...
Yeah, that sounds better. Because if you make an appointment, you're white, you're going to go. We'll make appointments and not show up if somebody... Well, what happened? I had something else to do, Or we show up late.
All right, well, let's get back to COVID for a second, because that still lingers with us. And one issue that will always linger with us, and maybe it'll take a generation to find out, is why did it kill more black people, percentage-wise, than white people? And it wasn't because of the vaccine. It was just they were sicker, they died more.
Well,
and
we got more illness. We're a very unhealthy group of people.
I had another thought about this. I think it's all about mac and cheese. Because you guys eat different foods than we do.
Yes.
And mac and cheese, I didn't realize how exalted, how way.
Oh yeah, you can have everything.
I mean, when I was 5.
But if you don't have mac and cheese, it's not going to go well.
When I was 5 years old, I think my mother told me how to make mac and cheese out of a box, and I thought it was no big deal. But it seems like here in Southeast, it's like a really, really important.
When they say it's a comfort food, it's a comfort food. You can have all the other good dishes around, but if you don't have the mac and cheese, it's all a complete waste.
Now, this is a racial litmus test at Thanksgiving. I've been to, I don't know how many Thanksgivings, 60-some Thanksgivings that I remember, right? And they were all with white people. I must admit, I've never had Thanksgiving with more than like one black person. I think one time I said, oh, yeah, we'll have a black person over. We'll have one black person over for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's token.
Yeah. And I've never seen mac and cheese at Thanksgiving. It's all like really dry turkey and gravy that's kind of lumpy.
That's for the white folks.
Yeah, yeah. And have you seen the cranberry sauce out of the can?
Ugh.
Where it just kind of, you just plop it onto the plate and it still looks like...
So that's y'all thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying this is for every black family, but we do have, what's it called? Cranberry
sauce?
Cranberry sauce. We have it there. I think it's there for just decorations, but we never eat it.
Right.
Now I see why. That's y'all thing. Y'all, we just have it sitting there, but we never touch it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the food that we have, even the food that's supposed to be good, it's just, people just play with it and wait for the pie.
Yeah. That's what like for me now, what makes me a little rebellious with my family, and what I do is, another thing along with macaroni and cheese is sweet potato pie for black people.
Never had it.
See, but what did you have pumpkin pie?
I don't like it. I've had it. Don't like it.
What pumpkin pie?
Why are you saying pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I saying it?
I don't like it.
Because
My brother likes it though.
I know
there is a white person who likes it. And that's my brother.
Yeah, pumpkin pie is more for white people. And sweet potato pie, it's almost like it's like an alternative for, okay, pumpkin pie is more of a white version, and sweet potato pie is the black version. So most black people like sweet potato pie. When I mention pumpkin pie, they're like, ugh, that's for white. But I like pumpkin pie.
Sweet potato pie sounds like a southern black dish.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah.
But pumpkin pie is, I think sweet potato pie was because we needed something to counteract that pumpkin pie, because that's what we saw white folks was eating all the time. But I like pumpkin pie, so I'll be the only one sitting there. Grandma be like, okay, I'm cooking sweet potato pie, and I love her sweet potato pie, but she'll always save me a pumpkin pie, and I would eat it in secret. I couldn't really eat pumpkin pie in front of everybody.
Is there any pie do you think we can agree on? Like that's at both white and black?
I don't know.
Thanksgivings?
I don't know.
Apple pie?
That's what I was thinking. Apple pie.
Everyone loves apple pie.
Yeah,
That's the
but
American
sweet potato pie, and macaroni cheese. I love to eat sweet potato pie and macaroni cheese together. Like I will actually take the fork, put a little bit of sweet potato pie on it, and then put a little bit of macaroni on it and put it in my mouth
That's
at the same time.
Yeah,
I like
mixing.
that.
Yeah, I like mixing too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you have vanilla ice cream on your apple pie?
I tried it. It was okay, but normally no.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Vanilla.
Okay, so this has been documented. I was a good humor man one summer, and I was in white neighborhoods and black neighborhoods. And the black neighborhoods loved the vanilla. What do you call those vanilla bars?
Is it wait a minute, ice cream sandwiches?
Good humor, yeah, ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
But also the toasted almond was fairly popular. But the vanilla was much more popular among the black families, and the whites loved the chocolate eclair.
That's crazy.
And I've done my own study also involving colors of bread as well. You all like white bread.
Yeah, that's what it.
And we're worried that we're not getting enough roughage. We're always worried about our bowel movements. White people are always thinking about, am I eating enough roughage? Is this bread?
You see why y'all are more. That's why I say probably that's why COVID was affecting us more, because we're more of this. See how y'all worrying about that and this? We don't care. Listen, as long as it tastes good and it doesn't kill us that day, we eating it.
Okay, but here's a soda thing that's not healthy, right? You all like Sprite more than colas. That's also been documented. White people like the colas over the Sprites. Now, what's the reason for that? There's like a color thing going on here. We're liking the dark colored stuff.
So is one guilt and one brainwashed?
Maybe, or maybe
y'all like more dark stuff just because y'all feel guilty about, and then we like more white stuff because we've been brainwashed.
I don't know. Maybe we like the dark.
Or
Whitewashed, yeah. Maybe we like the dark cola because we think it's be better for our digestion. I don't know.
Maybe so. Like you said, coffee. How y'all say? I like it dark, right?
Yeah.
Dark. See,
dark chocolate.
That's fine. That's what it is.
What else do you have at Thanksgiving? You must have other stuff that we don't have.
I'm very funny. I'm a funny eater at Thanksgiving. What else they got? Of course, the turkey, ham. Turkey, ham. Oh, definitely collard greens.
Now, there's several foods.
I don't even see. That's why I feel like
that's another one.
I don't feel like I'm black enough because I don't eat the chicken. I don't eat the fried chicken. I don't really eat too much of the turkey. And everybody's eating the collard greens. I don't like collard greens.
Yeah, so you mentioned fried chicken and collard greens, and there's one other fruit, kind of a dessert fruit. Did I say fruit?
You
That's
said
a
fruit.
Stereotype. What's the stereotype black fruit? The big one.
I don't know. Well, watermelon.
Yes. So those three things: watermelon,
you
fried
wanted
chicken,
me to say that.
collard greens. And I gotta say, now watermelon at some events for white people. Okay, we'll have some watermelon. But we're not that big. We're really not that big on the fried chicken. I mean, you've got us eating more fried chicken. I'll give you credit for that. But I think when I was growing up, I maybe had fried chicken just once or twice in my life.
So y'all have chicken, but it's not fried, or no chicken at all.
This is how white people eat chicken. Okay, we just lay out the chicken in the pan, the big roasting pan. The thing,
figured
the
this.
thing that you make lasagna in, right? What do you call those things? The big glass pan.
What, a skillet? What do you?
13 by 9 rectangular
Pot?
pan. It's a pan.
It's a
You
pan?
put it in the oven,
Okay.
and so this is chicken, right? And you just cook it. There's no seasoning on the chicken.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Right.
And then you take it out, and then before you eat it, you peel all the skin off. You throw the skin away because the skin's not good for you. So we're just eating plain, unseasoned
Unseasoned.
chicken.
Y'all are so unseasoned. Out of season, in season. Y'all are unseasoned. But see, we gotta have seasoning on everything.
And we don't even know what collard greens are. What are collard? Is it like leftover greens when you chop something up?
I'm thinking it's just a bigger version of greens. I don't know because I don't eat it.
It's
But
not lettuce.
No, it's not lettuce.
So are you saying you eat like a white person? Is this possible?
I'm probably in my family I eat the whitest
What did you have yesterday?
cereal,
What kind of cereal?
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Okay, that's crosses racial lines. I think.
Yeah.
I think both white.
But
and
if
black.
I'm crossing the line, I'm crossing over to the old side.
Is that all you had? Just a bowl of cereal?
Yeah, that's all I had time for. So, but that, like you said, everything is y'all don't season nothing. Y'all eat bland foods.
What's the last big meal you had that you did? Do you know how to cook?
No,
Okay, well there's an
I
issue
know
right
how to
there.
cook a good bowl of cereal. The last meal I had, Grandma cooked me some macaroni and cheese
There you go.
and some candy yams.
Oh,
Because
yes.
she did get the sweet potato pie. So if you don't have the sweet potato pie, you just bake the yams.
That's where we need to go. What does your grandmother cook that you enjoy? The yams,
Yams,
the mac and cheese.
mac and cheese.
Any meats? No chicken?
She'll cook chicken, yes.
Burger?
No.
No burgers? No veggie burgers?
No.
Okay.
Everything is Grandma is a Southern lady. She cook everything Southern, but yeah, she'll cook some collard greens. She cook cabbage. She cook chicken. She'll make potato salad. And my aunt Carolyn, she's probably right next to Grandma. Like she can cook just like Grandma. Well, actually, she learned from Grandma, and she cooked just like Grandma. Some stuff she cooked is a little more flavorful because she puts her own spin on it. But my grandma and my Aunt Carolyn are the real cooks of the family.
Really?
Yeah.
How come you don't want to learn how to cook? You could be in control of everything you eat.
Well. I know that if you gotta cook, you gotta go near that stove. I don't like that stove. It reminds me of an oven, and we was talking about Jewish people.
Gosh. You're afraid you're going to have an accident with the
Yeah,
with the
and
stove?
and my grandma is so used to it. I really believe she can take a what's it called, like a pan out of the oven, almost basically with her bare hands. It doesn't really, because she took like a thin little. I said, Grandma, ain't you gonna get the mittens, the cooking mittens? Sometimes she'll forget to get that. I just got to get it out, and she'll get like a thin rag and pull it out and put it on the table real quick. She can, and then when it sparks, like if there's grease in there and it pops out, it popped on my arm, and it, stuff like when it pops out like that, what is it called?
Splatter.
Yeah, splatter, like when you're cooking and the grease is popping. I don't like that. So I don't like that. That's why a lot of times I'll eat cereal or cold cuts, because you're staying away from the stove.
So you could go camping, getting back to our camping.
I can go to camping. I'm eventually I
some-
probably am, because you're white, you're a friend of mine. You're probably going to convince me to go out there and be missing. I know if I go missing with you, they will find me.
Will they be looking for you or looking for
They
me?
won't be looking for me. They just going to happen to find me because they're looking for you.
So if the two of us died out in the woods, what would the obituary look like? What would the news report look like?
They're going to make all kinds of jokes about
Paul
us.
Penniman, who blah, 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 blah.
They probably think you killed me.
He was also with a black...
raped me.
He was also with a black companion.
That's probably what it is. They a black companion.
Nameless.
Maybe when I say rape and kill, that's probably what we gonna think. That man killed that boy.
That's a little strong, yeah.
Yeah, but I know that won't happen. But I know they will. They won't be looking for me. That's why sometimes I be thinking about. if I go somewhere, I want to have a white girlfriend with me. In case we get missing, I'll at least be found. I'm gonna try to stay alive long as I can.
I always wonder. I mean, obviously, I'm with young people a lot, but I always wonder how much the perception is just by me being there, as opposed to just the black kid or the black human being standing there. Like I was going to a gas station a few years ago with one of my students. He was right behind me. It was Tyrone, and I had one of these buzzers to get into the little store, in the gas station.
Yes,
and they buzzed me in. And the door shut before Tyrone got there, and they wouldn't buzz Tyrone in. And I said, I had to tell him he's with me. I go, okay, then you can go in. That's the typical.
That's
attitude.
The way it is. But we play a part of that, because we.
You're responsible for.
Yeah, because we rob people and we look. I'm talking about around here. I don't know about anywhere else. And like I said, this is just what I've seen. We're just very aggressive people. We on the train playing loud music, cussing, and there's little children around. I seen mothers who are basically children themselves having children. They cussing their children out because they don't really know how to talk to the child. Shut the F up, sit down, and they only 2 years old, and that's how they talk to them. So they gonna grow up and be just as aggressive. So we play a part in our own demise. So I guess I'm accidentally playing a part of reversing that by not eating collard greens or, like in pumpkin pie, not eating too much fried chicken, talking like this, wearing a tie, things like that.
So you're assimilating into the white race.
I'm trying not to, Mr. Penniman, but I just say I'm the more passive aggressive black person.
Up in Cleveland Park.
Now I can aggressively run from a scene where they're shooting. I can aggressively run from that.
I don't get the whole running from shooting. Where are you going to run if you're in the open air?
Trust me, we're going to find some. We just got to get out the way.
People start running, but they still can be shot.
Yeah, but you're running away from the guy. If you're running away from them, the less likely they'll see you, because when they shooting, I don't know who they shooting at, but if they trying to shoot at somebody, we just got to get away from that somebody or that area.
I thought you were supposed to dive to the ground. That's what they do in the movies.
That's the movies. We running. We're not staying there. You can't dive on the. You could dive on the ground
or hide behind a tree, I guess. But
up with the trees again.
up in Cleveland Park, where I used to live, so it's like 98% white. They have a listserv where people can talk to each other, right?
Right.
So if a couple of black kids are walking around, sometimes you'll get a message like that. Be careful, there are two black men, young black men or whatever, walking on Newark Street or something.
See, that's why I feel like we Southeast, as a black person, I ain't gonna lie, I feel more safe in Southeast than to go uptown to Reservoir Street.
I mean, you could be in a Trayvon Martin type of situation up in Northwest. I mean,
I could.
I mean, people aren't carrying guns that much, but
I was up Northwest, and I'm telling you, the scariest thing happened to me. I was so scared. I was walking because there was a hospital that I was visiting. My grandma's friend. She was in the hospital.
Black.
I think she's mixed.
Okay.
She could be. She's black, but she's very light.
She can pass either way.
She can pass. She's such a sweet lady.
What does her hair look like?
It was like blonde.
Oh.
It was like kind of blondish, like golden.
Okay.
But she was black.
Okay.
But I was going down that street and I saw a white lady jogging. Scared me half to death.
Yeah, that is.
And the
scary.
bus driver, he was like, "Yeah. Be careful on this street." I'm like, "Why?" He looking at me like, "You going down this street?" "Yeah, I got to go to the hospital." He said, "Be careful." He made me feel like I was in Southeast again, but I'm like, I'm fine in Southeast. But I see what he's saying. And when I got off the bus, going down the street, white lady was jogging. She had her hair up, in a nice little bun, and she was, jogging. And this had to be about 8:30 at night.
My people love to run around the neighborhood.
Yeah. At night too, don't they?
Yeah.
That's how safe it is. But I say, if this lady sees me and I scare her and she screams, I know it's going to be about 8 or 9 cruisers that's going to pull up quickly. And they may not even give me time to explain or even give me time to even talk in my white voice to know that I'm not threatening. They're just going to start shooting me. or beat me up with knife sticks.
So you feel safer down in
I
Southeast?
feel safer in my neighborhood where they're shooting and robbing people and committing a lot of crimes and things like. I feel safer there because I can walk. I'm so desensitized to it. I just walk past it. Just make sure I just don't get hit.
Well, around Wilson High School, or I guess it's now called Jackson Reed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jackson Reed. I looked up Jackson Reed on the internet, and I don't have my what do you call those, safety features. So it turns out Jackson Reed is a porn star. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Jackson Reed is a.
Jackson Reed. Is he local or is he?
I don't know. I didn't look much further. But so they've named the high school after. So anyway, sometimes I'm up there in the Tenleytown neighborhood. So before school lets out, everything's pretty calm.
Right.
But in every area where school lets out, it gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Kids, white kids, black kids.
Right.
But they just go crazy between 3 and 6 p.m. And I think some adults are genuinely afraid of what they might do.
Right.
And I run into them smoking weed in the Whole Foods stairway sometimes. And sometimes I act like I'm
That's a problem if you're doing it at Whole Foods.
Sometimes I act like I'm the principal at a school or something. Hey, yeah.
Does it work?
They get scared for like 3 seconds, but then they keep going.
Oh, Lord. You might need a black person there to cuss them all out and say, y'all better get out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe that might work. Sometimes violence will work or aggression.
It's funny that this old white face can sometimes strike fear into people, but otherwise not.
No. It might. I guess you strike fear in a different way than it would if somebody my color would come and tell them, yeah, you better get off this property or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe it's more of an age thing. Young people might be afraid of me.
They might be
no matter
because
what
you
color.
look like you can do something. You can have them all arrested.
I was on the bus last night, and this little 2 or 3 year old girl, black girl, was just kind of staring at me. She couldn't stop staring at me.
Was this around here?
Around here. And I was the only white guy on the bus as usual.
What you think, Mr. Penniman?
And she was just staring up at me. And I kept going, hi, hoping that her mom would notice that she was just staring at me.
See, they're gonna think you're gonna be the second Milwaukee Monster.
I kind of look like an albino compared to everybody else.
When you go and eat stuff, do you always, like a steak or something, do you always say medium rare?
I just give them one word, medium.
Medium something.
Or if I like it well, but I don't like it well. You don't need 2 words to order a steak at a fast food place.
So medium,
right?
well. Okay, we mostly like it well done.
Yeah, you don't want to see any pink or red at all.
No, y'all, if blood ain't oozing out, it ain't satisfying to y'all, right?
Yeah, my brother's like that too. But the rest of our family, we kind of like the juices flowing.
Why is that? Does it look fancier?
It looks more like we're eating something.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to like leather or something like that. But
I read that we're like that because, all this is intrinsic, I guess. It comes back from slavery when y'all got the best of the meats and then y'all left the toughest one for us, the leftovers.
That's true.
And I guess that's what, and the same thing like the back of the bus. We fought all these years because, we had to pay our fare, get on at the back of the bus, Rosa Parks and all them. And then now we're free. We can get on anywhere on the bus. Where we go to? The back of the bus. I'm scared to go to the back of the bus. I sit in the front, not because, I'm free and I can sit in the front. No, because the back is where all of us go at. And I promise you, I got on the bus, which was the X2, and there was a girl that was swinging on the poles, giving she was doing an actual show, a little striptease show on the bus.
She was practicing.
Yeah, I guess practicing. I know they was throwing money back there. She was swinging on the pole, and I'm like, she's really good because the way she was swinging, I'm thinking the pole was going to break, but she swung just nice on the pole of the bus, and they was throwing money back there.
I think in the old days, all they had was those white transfers to give them.
Yes.
Give the dancers.
I guess. But they was throwing dollar bills. They were playing dice back there, and and like I said, the white people got on, and they saw that, and they was like, oh, my God, I just got 2 more stops, and I'm off. And then the rest of the way, and I stay in the front. But you see how intrinsic that is? Whitewash is what I call it, because we've been in the back of the bus for a long time, and then we're free to be where we want, and we still go to the back of the bus. So we must do this well done thing. I want it well done because that's what they did back in the slavery time. The slave masters would get the best of the meats And then what was left over, which was the tough meat, they just gave it to us. Like they treat us like animals.
I wonder whether the slaves got meat at all.
That's what I'm thinking.
I wonder about that. So there's one more thing we wanted to talk about today before we go.
Sexual harassment.
Yeah, and just to introduce this, there are actually a couple of Trump's cabinet members who have gotten in trouble with I would call misbehavior in the workplace. Like one of the, I don't know if you've heard of Kristi Noem. This is the white woman who shot her puppy because the puppy was misbehaving and couldn't be trained well.
Of course, it's going to be the
and then kind of bragged about it in her memoir that
she shot her puppy.
It was
that's a no-no in the white community.
A tough decision. Yeah, that was a tough one for us.
Do not abuse your puppies or pets.
Yeah, we treat dogs better than
you can kill each other. You could stab each other. She could have stabbed her husband if she's married. Is she married?
Well, she's having an affair with one of her lieutenants.
Okay, she could stab the guy that she's having an affair with, but you don't stab your puppy.
And they're going around the country on our dime, having fun, the two of them. And that's not harassment, right? They both want to do this.
Yeah, they wanted to do that.
But I think it's inappropriate. But there's another guy or I think it was a woman who had to leave. I can't remember her name. I think she was in the Labor Department or something. And she was harassing these men or having affairs and it just seems to happen a lot. I can't figure out whether it's a white or a black thing or you can take advantage. I mean, how do you feel?
It could be both, but I think it's just the way y'all do it opposed to the way we do it, which I don't really know.
Do you think we do it more secretively and you do it more in the open, or
what her harassment?
Yeah, or affairs when we have affairs. Like remember that scene where the guy was with his girlfriend at a concert and they were on the kiss cam?
Oh,
remember that scene that they were kind of embarrassed to be there on the kiss cam?
I think y'all do it more secret than we do. I think y'all do it more secretly. Y'all have some decorum with it.
And how do
we like, yeah, whatever. That's my hoe over there. She know it. They both know each other. Matter of fact, I've got to go to both of their house tonight. They both mess it. Then they turn around and like each other. I guess.
How do you start an affair if you're black? Is there a big difference from when you're white? I think there's.
See, that's that. I don't know about. I don't get holes, Mr. Penniman.
I think white people.
I wouldn't know.
I think white people flirt via text. Right? It starts with text.
Yeah.
And then you might send a picture, but the whole picture.
Back in the day, it used to be like a pickup line. You just did, but see, you don't do that no more. You try to talk to a girl on the street, you're a weirdo. So I don't know how that goes. I guess it has to be. From what I experienced, it's easier to do it like when you're at the workplace. That's why they say work harassment, because you know the person. They see you every day, and you can find a way in there and say, like, how you like the job, and then that's how that gets started,
right?
Without sounding weird.
And everyone goes out for a happy hour in a group. And if you're
it happens in both. I think it happens both white and black. It's just
if you
take different approaches.
And if you're coworkers, it's okay. I mean, it's not against the rules to then have a date and maybe shack up or
even
something.
Though you got a wife at home, it's okay.
But it might make things awkward back at the job if you break up. Once you break up, right? Can you be adult about it and still go on your job after you've broken up?
You can, unless you just quit and go to another job.
But where else are you going to meet people other than the job?
Another job or church. But see, like if they I seen this at my job. They break up and then it's like it's weird, but it's like the girl was like, "You can't do this to me," and he was, "Oh my!" It was almost like they were a couple that was getting a divorce. You know, that's what it seemed like. And then they got back together. We can't be seen like this. We got to go somewhere else. I guess that's the awkward they talking about. But I know like when it happens, like they break up, is this awkwardness like they don't like each other no more, they don't speak, and if it's the boss and you going with your subordinates, then what is that? They fire you or whatever?
Well, that's the hard part. If you're dating your boss, then you're taking a big chance, because if you quit the romance, you might lose your job or never get a promotion or be shunned in the workplace. And
see, I think the way it goes with y'all, I think for y'all it's like a romance. It's like a meeting Mrs. Jones and coffee and, okay, I got my wife at home, but I love you too, darling. But I think with us it's just, we just smashing. You know, it's like I'll smash the boss and we just chilling. That's it.
So it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's just I just want to get a nut off.
Okay.
And then we get back to work. Of course, maybe feelings might get involved, but it's like we just having sex. It ain't nothing. But see, the way you're saying, it's like, okay, romance is involved, so it's a whole nother entity, a couple going on outside of here. That's why it's probably like, if it is a breakup or something happens or they find out, it's really a big thing, because it's like we had something special. We was actually a couple aside from your wife or your husband. But with us, it ain't nothing. All it is like, oh yeah, they used to smash each other or something like that, and then that's it.
All right, I'm going to describe the plot of a true crime show I saw the other day, and you're going to tell me whether these are white people or black people, and maybe you'll figure it out.
They're still dealing with sexual harassment, though.
Yeah, you'll figure it out right away.
I hope so, Mr. Penniman.
So, I'll spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you who does the crime. The woman is tired of her husband, falls in love with a pastor whom she's working for. She works in the church, and the pastor's a beloved guy. In fact, it's the best friend of the family, and is like godfather to their kids. But she's fallen in love with him and decides...
This sounds like a Lifetime
the
movie.
two of them to conspire to kill the husband. And they go ahead and do it, and they bury the body.
That sound white.
Yeah, they were white.
Yeah, they were white. We ain't got time for that. We don't got time for that.
The pastor lost his job, by the way, because of the affair. Not because of the murder, but...
Because of the affair.
Yeah.
And the fact that being a pastor is his job.
So do you get less upset over affairs? Do you people, I'm saying to your black race, can you speak for your race and say, do white people get more
I'm a very poor representation of my race, I'm telling you. I'm a very poor spokesperson. You would have been better off with...
Do you trust your pastor? Do you think your pastor is trustworthy?
Oh, God, that's a tough... I love my pastor, but... I at this point, especially sex is a very powerful thing. It's from what a lot of people, what I saw, what it makes people do, and I'm like you just said, bury the body. Let's get the husband out the way so we can get our nut off. Let's kill this man so that we can have sex. The stuff that people do for it, I can't wait to experience that. Yes. I want to be able to get, and then, oh, you cheating on me? I think we know. It's like, oh, we know you doing something. Just don't let me catch you. See, I guess with y'all, you can sense that it's an affair. You don't have no proof, but you just kind of know, and then you're like, okay, you got to die. We got to bury the body. And then we can be together. And then we're going to plan the honeymoon. We're going to get on a plane and all that. Us, it's like, I already know that JJ is cheating on me. I know he with some other hoe here, but I bet not catch her. That's how I think we look at it. Yeah, I know you doing something. I know you are. Because when we home, sometimes you can't get it up. So I know you messing with somebody else because I know that you a horn dog and you can't get it up with me and I'm looking good right now. You done did something. It's okay. I don't know who the bitch is, that's how we call it, but don't let me catch her and don't let me catch you. I think that's how it go.
You know,
that's one area.
When I was young, I couldn't imagine adults and especially my pastor having sexual relations. I was thinking, how did these children come about? Even though I knew.
I don't think my pastor would do it, but I just don't trust at this point, no. Okay, like for instance, they got a pastor. They got a pastor who is in this situation where he's not married. So it's like when you have a wife and you do these things, it's kind of, to me, it's bad. But when you're unmarried and you single, it's like, God, dog, how do he get his nut? He's a man, and when you pastoring and the fire of God, you know that's going to come through your penis at some point. So how you going to get off? That's why it's important to have a wife. That's why they want presidents to be married. You got to be married to be a president, right? Unless they didn't change that.
No, I think you just have to be born in the U.S.
Born in the U.S., you got to be at least 35. And what's the other one? It's 3 of them, I think.
Well, you're a naturalized citizen either way, right? I think that's it.
Okay.
You can even have
I thought you had to be married.
I think you could commit a felony and become a president still.
They just added that in there. Yes, they did. So we don't know who's going to be the president next.
No. But getting back to the whole.
But yeah, it's like they had a pastor that's got these. He's single, so I said I know, and he's young, so I know he got to get his nut from somewhere, and it ain't from God.
Yes.
So he got all these women are beginning to come out, and they beautiful women, by the way. I'm not mad at them.
When you say come out, you mean
Like they coming out saying, "Oh, we had an affair, we did this and we did that." You know, that don't look good for a pastor.
right.
But I'm saying to him, I said, well, and this gonna sound crazy, but for me, it's like I'm not mad at the guy. These some beautiful women, and he's a man. Because it could have been all these children coming out. He could have been, a pedophile. So now I'm thinking nowadays it's like
better?
it's like okay, he coming out with being, messing with these women. And even if a pastor comes out, he's married, and they come out and they say he's having an affair and it's with another woman, that is bad. But to me, it's like it could have been worse, because it could have been like he had sex with an 11-year-old, and I'll say for some people, me, I don't care. For some people, it could have been another man, but it was just another woman. He's a man. What you expect? And then the woman looked like his wife.
I would trust a pastor.
Sometimes it's like the wife looking like, you had sex with this girl over here. She looked like a pig. But I guess that's what.
Well, sometimes they have the same name too.
They have the same name. That way he won't call out the wrong name doing an orgasm. I guess it's Barbara. Why it's got to be Barbara? I don't know.
But I would trust I would trust a pastor if he didn't have a flashy car. Do you have female pastors? We have,
we got female pastors. They oppose that too. They think that. The old-fashioned church, and some of it is still going on today. They don't believe that women should preach in the.
So we white people have female pastors. We've got openly gay pastors. We've got all kinds of pastors.
Lord have mercy.
And you just have the black male pastors. Now, what kind of a car does your pastor drive? See, that would be my litmus test.
My pastor is definitely a flashy pastor.
Yeah,
he's one of those pastors that what's that comedian. Whatever that comedian made fun of the mega church, he's that kind of pastor. But he's a good pastor to me.
But what car does he drive?
He drives.
Is it like a BMW?
I don't know what he drives. Sometimes he show up in different cars. I can't keep up with it.
You see, I feel like they're passing around the plate. Well, do they pass around the plate anymore? But people make contributions.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Are we contributing towards this guy's lifestyle?
I think we're contributing to the church.
His car, his affairs.
It seemed like that. It could be. I don't know. Whatever he got going on, that's between him and God. I do get pissed off that I gotta catch 2 buses to watch this man driving different cars and come up in a nice. It's fine. But he said he did this through God and what he did. So he just giving us what he did so that we could be blessed too and living right. So I go with that. But yeah, there is some stuff that I question about. But yeah, he drives up in cars. They still did. I feel like when we give the tithes and offer is to keep the church up so we can have a nice place of worship to go to. But then that means when he comes to church and he's preaching and we're keeping the building up and we're keeping the air conditioner on, we're paying for to make sure the building look nice, that's going to attract more people to come to the church because the church look nice. So basically it's his business. So if we're contributing to his business to boom, then that gives him what's it called? Like it puts him on the map for other pastors to visit him, and then he go visit other pastors for him to write books and different things like that, and then he makes his money that way. So either way, it's coming down to him making his money.
He's got.
But I really don't want to go to a broke pastor church.
White people say he's got his get out of jail free card.
Basically, yeah.
So to sum all this up, you all seem to be more trusting and more
of the pastor, okay. Yeah, because we need some
but of transgressions in general. I feel like we're more judgmental. The white people will come down on you harder for the affair or doing
and sexual harassment. Now there's a question I'll ask you. Do you think now when I went down to Costa High School, there was a teacher there. God rest his soul. He passed away recently. Major Bowman. Major Bowman was he taught JROTC, but that means he also taught things like survival and how to survive in the workplace and different just general things like how to conduct yourself. So he gave us a test. One subject he had in, I know he was teaching us about the tourniquet and all of that and how to survive in the woods and all that. But then he said, now I got to switch it to how you conduct yourself in the workplace, because that's also a survival skill. So we had a test and we talked about sexual harassment, and it was all about how to make sure you don't sexually harass people and things like that. So basically the guys was really listening to it. The women were too. The girls were too. But he gave us a test, and it was 10 simple questions about what he was talking about as far as the work environment and sexual harassment. I got a 90%. There was one question on there that I got wrong, and I was like, how I got that wrong? The question said, can men be sexually harassed by women?
Oh, that's right. We haven't mentioned that.
Yes. And I said, absolutely not. No. Can men be sexually harassed by women? No. No, they're women. If they're going to do anything to us, it's going to be a beauty. It's like, come on, come to us. Unless they look like a gorilla. If they look like a gorilla, that's sexual harassment. But if they're beautiful, you
were hoping for it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is not harassment. This is heaven.
And how did he correct you on this?
Oh, he put a big X on there. He said, yeah, you wrong. I said, I'm not wrong, Major Bowman. Women cannot. First of all, we're stronger than them. So even if a gorilla was to come at us, a woman that looked like a gorilla, we could just. I guess we can tranquilize her, but we're stronger than they are. They cannot get control of us, but we're stronger than they are. That's why we tend to be more of the aggressor. That's why I was scared when that woman walked down the street, that white woman. First of all, I'm black and I'm a man, and she's a white woman. All she gotta do is say, ah, and that's it. I'm done. But men tend to be the aggressors most of the time, right? So that's why I said, yeah, no woman can't sexually harass. If I don't want to be sexually harassed by a woman, it's not going to happen. But he said, you got a lot to learn, son. And I didn't know that I was going to learn it pretty soon, because I was with a few women that I didn't know it was sexual harassment at first, until one day my aunt Cherie, had a conference call. And it was about sexual harassment and being abused and domestic violence. So she said, you ain't got to say nothing, Brian. I just want you to be in it, because I need your feedback on what you've heard. But I think only women were supposed to be on there. Women that been abused and what's it called? Domestic violence. Domestic violence. They were abused. So I'm listening to it, and they're describing what their boyfriends or husbands did, but I said, this is the same thing that this girl did to me, but that can't be the same thing, because I'm a man. I can play that off. So my aunt
if you were enjoying it, is it harassment or abuse?
I was because all the girls that abused me were pretty. I'm not going with nobody ugly, Mr. Penniman. That's abuse in itself. I'm sorry. The girls that abused me, they were beautiful. That's why I'm scared of beautiful women to this day. I love them, but I'm scared of them because they seem to be more. Now, I said that gorilla that might come at me, you're not getting at me, but they're the ones that will save your life. The girl that looked like the gorilla is the one that will save your life from the girl that looks like a swan. But the girls I had, one of them, she threw plates at me because she thought I was cheating. One of them tried to run me over with a car. One of them took my own work boot, steel-toe boots, hit me in the head with it. And at first, I'm like, because they pretty, I don't care. But then it started to get scary because one of them was like, I want to meet you for this. And then and I'm hearing her on the phone. And by her tone, it was like, where you want to meet me at? Oh, I got something. I just want to show you something. I'm thinking she going to show me her titties, which she did. But then that was a setup for her to hit me in the face and start beating up on me. And I'm not going to hit the woman because all I got to do is hit her once and I might knock her out. Then the police coming at me. But she was beating me up. I was scared of these girls. These pretty girls out here are violent. I don't know if it's because of low self-esteem. And I don't know why. You've heard about that beautiful women got some of the lowest self-esteems ever. I'm like, wow, you're pretty.
Yeah, because
and it's the ugly ones that seem so confident.
People always comment on their beauty and not what they're thinking about or what their values are. Oh,
that
you're just so
is
beautiful.
true. That is true.
So there's kind of a fine line between pain and pleasure here.
It is.
But you do believe it is possible to be sexually harassed by a woman?
Now I do.
You could have a female boss.
I'm a survivor of it now.
You could have a female boss.
I wanted to join the Me Too movement, but I don't know if that's
not for you.
That's not for me?
No.
So where's our Me Too movement, Mr. Penniman? Have you been harassed by women?
Well, maybe once or twice, but it's kind of normal growing up to have, inappropriate flirtations going on from time to time, and you just kind of brush it off. My mother had it hugely in the Marines. She was in the service, and she worked for the War Department, and she had to deal with, military officers that were after her, and she was told which ones to avoid and that type of thing.
And see, that's probably what's affecting me in my dating life with these, because even in school, I had girls. I almost got raped, I believe, but if it wasn't for the bell, that's why I love that show Saved by the Bell, because that reminds me, I was saved by the bell because when the bell rang, they scattered. But it was these girls that pinned me down. They were athletic, but they were beautiful, they were strong. They wanted to see if I was a real man. So they pinned me down. They was going to pull my drawers down to see. And I'm sitting there screaming, I'm a real man. I promise you, I'm a real man. But they wanted to find out. Because I think I was kind of, what's the word when you're not really, you're not really a man or a woman. You don't have a certain androgynous.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of like that. So they didn't know whether I was a dyke or a lesbian or a guy, because my beard wasn't growing yet. So they wanted to find out.
Should we leave everybody with that image of you being torn apart by these?
We can. Yeah.
How old were you at this time?
I was 18.
I thought maybe 14 or something.
No, I was 18.
All right, so we're going to have to scatter ourselves. This has been another edition of Keeping It 84 with Paul Penniman, the old white guy, and
$20,
the youngish black person. And we're trying to promote our young man's career, so you'll be hearing more of him as we go along.
Typical white man, just want to exploit the black guy.
Just exploiting him, yeah. But we'll be posting every Friday at lunchtime for your listening pleasure. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time.